Hi guys, it is Stacey Calder from the Business Success Network and Magazine, and I am joined today. Now, we have attempted this about 3 different times, so that's why I've not stuffed him back in the green room. I've just brought him in because we wanted to check it was working. We have the awesome David Baum. Now, when I wrote the schedule for this, I said, I'm joined by a man in a tutu. What is that about? David, I want you to spend the next I don't know, however long we're going to gas for, 15 minutes maybe. Let's have a chinwag about how me and you have come to know each other, what you are doing, which is absolutely incredible, I have to say, and why I'm getting involved and how others can too.
Okay. Let's see. Where do we start? Well, I actually have heard of Stacey long before we met. Her reputation on within the foreign community was awesome because she was responsible for Leamington Bloody Smile.
Wow.
Every foreign group in the country was in the shade of what she and her team were doing.
Aww.
And I was actually supposed to be, I'd arranged with Stephen Way to do a foresight at Abergavenny, I can now say that word without laughing, and I then was going to go on the road trip.
That's right.
Never happened.
We were, for those of you that don't know the story, me and Stephen Wade, who is one of the business success experts, actually, he used to run a networking event on a Monday morning at 8 o'clock in Abergavenny. It lasted for 2 hours, so it would run till 10. There is a 2-hour travel distance between Abergavenny and Southam, Leamington. And I used to run a lunch meeting at 12 o'clock. And on a few occasions, we did this really silly thing where a group of us would start in Abergavenny, do the networking, travel to Southam, do the networking, and on one occasion, me and Duncan Price, actually, we then went on to Bristol evening and did that as well. So pretty bonkers when you think now that the world is all online at the moment, but that is another story.
As we've said, I mean, some people are looking what's happened with COVID and they go, oh God, even now all this time, my freedom's been removed. We've seen all the shouting in the press about Freedom Day. Freedom is relative. I happen to feel freer now than I ever did pre-COVID because I'm off the treadmill, which said I needed to go to Abergavenny, which would have been sort of 3-hour drive, 2 to 3 hour drive, which meant I would either stay overnight or have to leave at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
It didn't matter where I was going in the country. It was a lot of mileage. I can do far more business. I get to meet amazing people and become friends with people who I wouldn't have met prior to lockdown, or I might have met them, but I would never become friends with them. And without that friendship and without that support base that has grown exponentially, realistically, when you think about it, how many of us actually now support each other? What I do with things like Move for Wellness would never have happened without the support of the 4N family, without the support of the online network. Our own business, the debt collection, has grown because people recognize we're not buying people by their face and what they say by body language. We're buying them because of their expertise and their knowledge base. And in business, it has now become more important to be able to be knowledgeable about your subject. And because if you're not, you are going to get blown out. And this is where people like yourself, Stacey, come along. You've got a Business Success Network. You've grown that because you have got the experts in place who help other people in their business. And it doesn't mean give me a business. I'm the expert, give me a business. It means I'm an expert. Let me help you.
And you're right, absolutely. We've got some fantastic experts within our network, and you've talked a bit this morning about how we met, which was through 4N, and we certainly have actually through lockdown, and that is a hot topic, the subject, and I know we're not really here to talk about that. We're going to talk about you and what you've been doing, but you're right, we have met and we have got to know each other through lockdown. We've pretty much networked week in, week out, actually, at least one networking event a week, and we've got to know each other, and you've made me laugh. You've made me cry. You've made.
Can we rephrase that? The cry bit is not tears of sadness.
No, they were
tears of laughter.
Tears of hilariousness.
Yeah,
Let's
well, we
go
won't
there.
go into. If anyone wants to know what
That's
those
another
stories are,
lie.
that's another thing. I will happily contact me, and I will tell you some of the
Well,
reasons that
well,
Stacey ended up on the floor, and her husband thought she was having a seizure.
yeah.
But that's a different
Tell you
story.
what, if they donate to this cause, I might let you do that foresight. That's in here. Might do
Okay.
let you be a guest speaker, and you can tell everybody what made me absolutely fall off my chair in
Okay.
hysterics.
But
And
that has to be a donation.
the only
Donation of
person.
£100.
Oh, there we go.
Minimum donation of £100.
We can get more than that in this group. The only person to ever have made me laugh so much that I fell off my chair, other than you, was Bradley Walsh. So you're high up there, David.
Oh, blimey, that is
All I'm
really
gonna say. Right. Anyway,
wow.
enough of me
Anyway,
falling off my chair. The man in the tutu, Move for Wellness. You know, we have been networking for a year. I've been drip fed this thing, and I've been listening to, you know, like I say, week in, week out, but all these different things that you're doing. You rock up. You've got a head on a stick with a wig.
I haven't got that with me at the moment. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I forgot to leave Tilly behind.
No, it's
Another
fine.
room.
You can meet Tilly another day. And actually, like I say, it's good to drip feed people. So here's this network of mine that you've now infiltrated, David. I want you to tell everybody what it is that you're doing. You're obviously raising money. What is it for? How can people get involved? In fact, I'm going to say a bit on that later, because I have got involved recently. I did something really, really small. I got my logo put on your vest top for while you're running. But as a network, I think we can do more. And that's why I wanted to get you here today, because, you know, me stuffing some money into your charity to put a logo on is nothing. If I can get these guys moving and behind it,
That'd
much
be
better.
awesome. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Right, let's start from the very beginning. The Move for Wellness actually came out of what a lot of people knew was 365 Challenge, which is all about doing exercise to raise awareness of the effects of PTSD, because far too many people thought PTSD was only affecting those in the armed services. And we were going ahead, full steam ahead, until the COVID started, and also Saracens got hit. We were going to do you alluded to the head on the stick, TILI, which stands for Talking Improves Life's Longevity Immeasurably. And when I used to do my foresights and my talks about 365, I would end up with a dance, well, not really dance, prancing to Me Old Bamboo from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, as one does with the broomstick with the head. Anyway, we had arranged to do a flash mob on the pitch at Saracens last day of last season, with me and about 50 ex-players all prancing around on the pitch. We had a major bank was going to support what we were going to do, because they recognize A, mental health, but B, for them, 2 million views on YouTube was a nice return for investment. Saracens, unfortunately, got hit with a massive fine, relegation, and they're coming back, so that's fine. We then have COVID, and it gave me a chance, and Mel, my wonderful wife, co-founder and my inspiration, we sat down, we said, okay, what are we trying to achieve? What do we want? And a few other people, Sharon Ray was another one, said to me, David, what are you trying to do? What is 365? We said, well, it's about getting people to move around. Well, you're not saying that. So we thought, okay, let's restart again. It's the Move for Wellness. Why? Because we got to get people moving, even if it's walking around their room, even if they are on a bed, they've got problems, they can move their arms, they can do something. We have to get people laughing. There's too much negativity in the world. Negativity destroys. I mean, we've seen this just recently, going back to the news. People are apoplectic with rage because their freedom's not. Well, freedom is what? It's you, how you feel. It's about getting people to stop eating the rubbish food, the ultra processed food that's destroying them. I don't go around and say never eat burgers or pizzas or McDonald's or anything, but not to have it as the diet, which is some people's lifestyle, because they believe wrongly that they're getting their 5 a day. So Move for Wellness is everything. It's about people who are confused about body awareness. How many people do we know that are now being identifying themselves as pan, because they don't actually understand they don't know whether they recognize themselves as a male or female? There are more people going through trans, and you now got Stonewall, who were a fantastic organization to start with, now are encouraging teenagers who are curious. Oh no, you've got to have this change. And what we've got to do is stop this negativity of life and start embracing it. So one of the things I was doing was obviously to raise money, and I am doing. So I came up with something really, really, really stupid for a 63-year-old. Yes, because I am 63. It's let's go virtually run around the UK, because that's starting in February. It was going to be, well, we don't know when we're coming out. So the idea was, and I calculated it for somewhere between 21st of February, 21st of December, how many miles, and I worked out I can do 2,728 miles, and that takes me all around the south coast, down to Land's. I'm in Bush in Hertfordshire, so down to Land's End, up through to Bristol, through to Wales, all the way through to into Lancashire, around the coast of Scotland, John O'Groats, Inverness, Aberdeen, and then all the way down the east coast, and then
sounds lovely, doesn't it? And then you think, hang on, this is virtual, but it sounds lovely to do it face to face as well. Although
it'll be incredible, but I haven't got 11 months of my life to do it. But by going, say, jog for, say, 6 miles or walk for 5 miles, I'm very lucky. A friend of mine, Mike Manley, who has got a gym in Kent, very kindly gave me a spin bike. So for the days when the weather was awful, I could spin for 20 minutes, for an hour. And that sounds horrendous for someone who doesn't do spinning or cycle. But you know what? With the music on, it's great. And all of a sudden, I'm doing I'm now up to over nearly 800 miles since the 21st of February. Yes, I'm now going outdoors. Hence why, when I decided I was going to start doing some 10Ks and the Great South Run, I need to wear a vest. And I'm out there running, and people see me in my blue tutu. Oh, I digress. The blue tutu. Yes. Okay. Now, I'm not
to stand out, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm not Captain Tom. God bless him. What an amazing man he was. And there's so many of these very old people who've done some amazing walks, and children who are doing walks, and people in suits of armor.
It's really interesting, actually, because my 2 youngest, they've been at school. They were doing a walk around the world, and we were logging they've got an app, they were logging all their stuff, and it was really great to hear them coming home and saying, we're halfway to Tokyo, or we're here now. And they were following it, so it was good for them to learn about the place.
It's a marvelous learning curve for them, because okay, children, we're going in Tokyo. What can we find out about Tokyo? I remember when our oldest son was at primary school, he had to do a year 6 project, and he chose to do about countries. Now, he chose to do Brazil. Don't ask me why, but he wants to do. And we went and got there wasn't any online in those days. He's 33, so there wasn't the online availability. I think Encyclopedia Britannica wasn't even online in those days.
Mike, I still love looking at books, and I'll say,
it was great. We sat there and we got the information from the Brazil. Yeah, we can Google that, but then we had to get to the Brazilian trade delegation. They sent over information for him. He wrote this thing, except always remember, he was talking about a river, canoeing down a river.
Amazing.
He forgot one vital thing, and I had to laugh. And he goes, "Well, Dad, why are you laughing?" It's like, I said, "Yeah, there's a waterfall at the end of this river. What about that?" So he suddenly realised facts are very important when you write something. But it's great that children become involved. So, as I said, the tutu came out because Mel and I used to have pink tutus for when we did the Race for Life. I went as Davina, she obviously went as Mel. We all wearing pink. And actually, our younger son, Oliver, was there one day, and he also sprayed his beard pink. And this woman goes, in a broad Scots accent in Watford, "I'm sorry, dearie, but there are a couple of you with a hormone problem." So I went, "Yeah, what do you mean, mate?" And she looked horror-struck. How dare a man be involved with cancer actually doesn't give a monkeys.
And do you know what, David? I think that's really, I mean, I know a bit about your background and stuff like that as well, but actually you are really inclusive with this. And even just from speaking to you, there are so many people that you want to help. It's not a stereotype here. And like you said, when you said earlier about PTSD, people, they see that and they think military. And actually, like you were just saying then, And people do it. I've seen, you know, talking about International Women's Day and things like this, and men get involved.
Yeah.
And some people look at them as if to say, oh, but you're male. And it's like, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. We can all be championing each other, can't we?
Well, 2 years ago, we were very lucky. We decided to go to Washington, Philadelphia, and Boston for a holiday. Ollie came with us. I had a brilliant holiday. And we ended up in Boston, not realizing it was Boston Pride. Now, I'd never been to any of the Pride Ball, but I actually love I love the whole concept. I'm working as a hairdresser in the 70s. I got to meet some amazing men and women who were gay, bi, and the fat one was trans. And it was the most amazing atmosphere. It was, yeah, there's thousands, which is quite intimidating if you're not expecting it. But it was brilliant. And we walked into the parade area, and there was the cast of the Rocky Horror Show on a. Well, so I remember the Rocky Horror Show in Chelsea when it first came out, and the film. I was being cuddled by Frank, Rocky, and half the crew. Awesome. Then across there was one of my sons. They both loved Rocky Power Rangers, and there was Rita Rapunzel in all her glory. So I had a hug from Rita and a picture, and I sent it back to the kids and said, "There you go, Dad's met someone you like."
Power Rangers takes me back to my youth. It really does. Anyway,
right. So anyway, so I've actually just made a decision. I was talking to Taz Thornton and Aisha, her wife, and they were talking about Pride and have anyone gone to Pride. I mentioned this, and we've now made a decision. I'm putting this out on air today. That when we have the next Pride one, we are going to be. Well, I'm going to be there. I don't know about Mel, but I'm going to be there in my blue tutu, in my Tilly wig, with Tilly on a stick.
Oh,
and I will be in because the one thing that people don't understand, we've got this wonderful world out there. We have so much information, overload of information about what is normal, what's not normal. Everything's normal as far as I'm concerned. But children and people are very confused now about what is and isn't acceptable in life.
It definitely is. It's a learning curve for so many, and I think when I see my children growing up now, and like you say, there is so much more information available out there, but they're so much more accepting of it. I think.
I mean, it's
fantastic to see.
I remember I was doing a show a couple of years ago with 365 as a health and wellness event, and this young lady, PT instructor working on the gyms, came past, and we were just chatting. She said, "I know all about PTSD." I said, "Really? Why?" She said, "Because I'm transitioning." I pardon? She said, "I'm transitioning." I said, "With all due respect, I don't see you. I see you as a woman." And she was smiling. She says, "I've only just started." I said, "But you carry yourself correctly. You're not." I mean, I remember the early days when you see people going through, the men were trying to be women, and I'm sorry, we were in an airport at Cyprus, which was hilarious, late, and about 10 o'clock, waiting to come home, and there was this very elegant, beautifully attired woman sitting there, drinking brandy. And as the evening progresses, and she's drinking slightly more brandy, the wig starts sliding down her face, and every bit of poise.
You can't behave.
Every bit of poise about this woman had gone. In the end, it was this broad Scots accent sitting there looking like Mrs. Doubtfire. It was hilarious. And my kids were trying.
Things have moved on now.
Yes,
there's a lot more help out there as well.
Oh God!
So let's go back to your.
Anyway, we'll get back very quickly.
Otherwise, we'll be here all day, David.
Right, one last thing on that subject. I must tell you, I am so proud of the fact within Move for Wellness we have got people of all gender identifications working with us, because we want this to be inclusive of everyone.
And that's a testament to you, actually, David, because
not to me, and to Mel as well. We have to.
Mel, we haven't got Mel here today, but we'll give her a shout out anyway.
But
so tell me then, how much are you looking to raise?
Okay, you sitting down? Oh, you are.
I am sitting down.
I know you're not tall. You're not particularly tall, but you are. £365,000.
Wow. And how is that money going to get spent? What's it going on?
There's a lovely lady, again, met through 4N, Kelly Cheetah, who suggested this, and this was what we had the idea for 365 as well. And it was just where it came through. Kelly lives in Blackpool, and she's for those who have never been to Blackpool, trust me, you're not missing much by not going there. It is really, and I'm not being horrible, but it really wasn't particularly a nice place last time we went there.
Do you know what, actually, and I'll hold my hands up here. I can remember going to Blackpool when I was a child. It was, one of those seaside towns. And we went on, a couple of years ago, we went through and we stayed the night in Blackpool on the way up to Scotland. And my husband said, actually, this is not what it used to be. It's quite deprived now, I think.
It is. And what Kelly said, for anyone to get help in the Blackpool, it's about a 50-mile round trip, and there's only one clinic near. So the idea is what we originally planned. It was the original concept. This was by Her Royal Highness Princess Katerina of Yugoslavia, who's a friend of mine. God, I'm a name dropper. Anyway, Katerina,
we've got royalty in the house.
She's the most amazing lady. She really is. If anyone gets a chance to have a chat with her, please do. She's brilliant. Anyway, the idea is to open a series of walk-in centres where anyone, not just to see a counsellor, but if you just want to have a place of solitude where you can just get out of the rat race, allowing things are just getting too much, and you need to find that place of calm. It's not religious, but there'll be like a calm area where you can actually zen out and just look out, enjoy life, have a cup of coffee. There'll be people there you can have a cup of coffee with and a chat, or a cup of tea and have a chat with. But there will also be trained counsellors available to help people who are having issues. And what's the issue that is bothering David, it may not be the same issue that's bothering Stacey. Stacey may not fully understand what's going through David's head. But those issues are so real. The child that is being bullied for being fat, because body shaming is nothing new. The child that is bullied for wearing glasses. The child that is bullied because there's a conception they may be gay or bi or trans. The adult that's gone through life, who starts working and is being bullied by a misogynist boss. Or there's so many. And so to be able to say to people, you're not alone. I've got a friend of mine, a lovely lady. Yesterday she was going really not terrible. She was really angry on Twitter the other day. We were just chatting. She said, "You've got to block so and so. You can't deal with him. He's horrible." And eventually she came back and said yesterday, she said, "I'm so sorry, David. I should have mentioned, but I couldn't at the time. It was 3 years since my husband and my grandson died." And I said, "Have you addressed?" She says, "I've never really dealt with that." And I'm very lucky because she's a carer. She's caring for a 101-year-old man, but she's dealing with these issues. But no one's ever helped her. So I was very lucky that, again, through networking, I've met an amazing woman called Coach Wendy Smith, who is a ex-Paralympian basketball coach for GB, who is able to help people in a non-invasive manner. And I said, you need to speak to Wendy. Hopefully she's going to contact Wendy. And
Fantastic.
Wendy will do.
But isn't it lovely that you're able to make those connections? And this is before you've kind of got this centre, and you've got I just love it. I love the fact that there will be somewhere where people can go. And like you say, yes, that it will help all these people that are going through all these things. But also the fact that, if you're a friend or a family member of somebody that's going through it, you can also go and sit and have a coffee and just take stock and speak to people. And it's a fantastic thing you're doing.
I learned years ago, unfortunately Mel had breast cancer. We're talking close to 30 odd years ago. And we were lucky, we had private health insurance, so she was getting treated for the cancer at the local Bupa. A very good friend of mine at the time had non-Hodgkin's, and he was being treated by the NHS. The cancer treatment itself was the same. It doesn't matter. In fact, the NHS was probably better than private. What was better was the pastoral care for the family. They wanted to make sure we were okay as a family, whereas within the NHS, their only concern, rightly, is the person that is unfortunately got cancer. And what we cannot forget is this dreadful expression, cancer touches. No, it doesn't. It devastates. But the moment you have cancer, someone suffering from cancer in the family, the ripples of that cancer affect everybody. The same way, the moment how many people we know have said they read that there's someone's taken their own life, and it affects them because of the actions of that one person. And we have to remember, life is we're not islands on our own. We touch everybody in our lives. We all touch someone. They say 6 degrees separation, but actually we probably touch in every day, figuratively, maybe 50 to 100 people just by our very actions. Every time you put a post out there, somebody will react to it, positive or negatively. And what we have to do is suddenly make people understand that life is much more than you. We have to help you get better and find the way that makes your life brings understanding to your life, because you're unique. But then also remember that we've all got families, and they have to be brought into the equation as well.
We've got some beautiful comments coming in. I can see Joy is asking lots of questions here, and some really good comments from her as well, talking about the circle of care is critical. You know, people are commenting saying they've been bullied for being fat. Most important thing in this world is to be ourselves. Absolutely. But she's asked, where will this place be? Is it going to be located in Blackpool?
The aim is to have a series of them. We'll start with Blackpool because it's testament to Kelly, because she came up with the idea. If anyone gets a chance to have a chat with Kelly Chaytor, not about business, but about who she is as a person, it's an education. There's some amazing people out there. We'll start it in Blackpool, but we want to have them as many of these over. So 365,000 is nothing. We may take 365 million. We do not know how much we're actually going to need, but we have to come up with a figure.
Yeah.
We don't know how much it's going to cost us to open it. It could be that somebody will donate a unit for us to use, in which case we don't need as much.
And that's the thing, isn't it? As you start to get involved in charities, and I know a little bit.
By the way, we're not a charity, Stacey. We're not for profit. The reason we're not going for a charity status, now the rules are, even as a charitable incorporated organisation, you need to look at raising something like £80,000. If you cannot tick the boxes, the Charity Commission will not grant you that number. As a not-for-profit organisation, we have built in some amazing safeguards, which means the first safeguard is David makes no decision about who gets money. I do not want that responsibility. It will be decided by a minimum of 3 people agreeing on anything, on spends as well as donations.
Which is it's really good, actually. I've worked alongside. I've done stuff for lots of different charities and not-for-profits, but there's one that's quite close to my heart, and they went from not-for-profit to charity, and I won't say who or what it is, but I can see now. I think they all wish, certainly the people that were there at the start, wish that they'd stayed with not-for-profit. So there's highs and lows and pros and cons.
The biggest pro is if with a charity you can get gift aid. It means that you can put an official campaign through Just Giving or Virgin Money, because unless you're a registered charity.
I met another guy, and this is kind of why I wanted to speak to him before I got you on here, and I haven't had a chance because he is so busy. There is somebody within our network that is that has set up a charity based site where they take no fees whatsoever. So a real good kind of similar to Just Giving and things like that. But actually, you can choose specific campaigns and things. So I want to talk to him about getting us a business success one for you guys. So that my network can go and they can pick kind of what wish they are, that how they want their money. So it will go to David for your drop-in centre or whatever it is. So that's what that's the aim.
Brilliant. There's what we're looking at is there's two things we need. The first is obviously support from businesses for the running of what we want to do, because everything that we raise in sponsorship of events, and trust me, we've actually got something planned that goes back to what we're doing with 365. We are going to hold a massive launch event if and when we can have more than 30 people outdoors, based on what we're talking about with the Tilly dolls, because it's just going to be fun. Total stupidity.
And this is what I love about you is, you don't take yourself too seriously. It's fun.
Excuse me, looking like this, how could I take myself seriously?
Anyway, right, we have chatted for half an hour now, and I hope that people are going to get behind this. I'm going to work with you. I haven't even told you this yet, but I'm going to work with you within these groups.
You were going to, regardless whether you liked it or not. We'd already decided one of the people we have to have involved in what we're doing is Stacey Calder, because you are a dynamic lady. You make things happen because you want them to happen. You're a force of nature.
Well, I hope
we are all attracted to you because you're an amazing lady.
I'll pay you later, you creep. Right. We have a great network here. Yeah. It is full of people that I'm sure can offer advice. Like you said, it might not be money donations, although, you know, we really want that too, because we all need donations. In fact, I don't know if Leanne's watching, but there's a lady in here that runs a charity, and she says it's a homeless charity, and she says she always asks for, you know, the sleeping bags and the socks. And there's me getting on stage going, no, we need 10 grand for this. Come on. So I don't mind asking for stuff when it's for charity. I just don't ask for stuff when it's for myself. So I am happy to be jumping on this. Like I said, my logo is on your vest, which is fantastic. But I just thought, you know, we have got this whole community here within the Business Success Network. And I think, you know, even if everybody in our Facebook community, there's over 1,000 people in there. If everyone put in £1, that's £1,000 towards David's campaign. And so, David, I want you to be really active in here. Let's get this going.
I will do whatever you want me to do.
Don't say that.
Well, no, trust me, it's lethal, because I will do some very silly things if you wish. By the way, if everyone's joining on a Friday, watch what we do on a Friday. Hopefully, I'm not going to get too blocked too often by the music organisations.
Well,
you've seen what we do on a Friday, Stacey, and ever so often I will suddenly get a message up from Facebook. Warner Brothers have muted a song.
Yeah, my husband, the budding rock guitarist, you know, throughout lockdown, I was kind of doing some lives with him playing the guitar. They'd always catch him out.
But the trouble is, I mean, I actually used to work with PRS, the Performing Rights Society. And when we started doing this properly with Frivolous Friday, I got in touch with them. I said, do I need a license? Because I don't want to deprive a musician of any money that they're due. And they said to me, what are you doing it for? And I told them. I said, where are you doing it? I said, doing it on my mother-in-law's flat or our home. Which said, first, we don't need a license for that, because it's a private showing and you've bought the music, that's fine. He said, but that's not your problem. You can't actually get a license for Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. I said, what do you mean you can't get it? He said, they will not work with us. So it means that nobody can actually get a license from.
It's so frustrating. They used to do a thing where they would mute it and you could say, the music isn't the main part of this video, it's not what it's about, and kind of take it off again. At the minute, that honestly, I've had videos from a year ago that suddenly I'll get a notification saying it's been muted.
I got blocked once on Twitter already, and everyone was shocked. I said, no, that's in the music. And they finally came back and they said they actually unblocked my account, suspended my account, and they said, please be careful, don't do this.
Yeah, just be careful for you, because we need to hear more about you.
No, so what we're now doing is looking for we go with now on a Friday. It's 2 to 3 minutes of us basically prancing. It's not dancing. And as Charlotte Elizabeth said to me once, she said, I can't choreograph you, David. I said, what's that? She said, apart from that, you got 2 left feet. She said, it's your spontaneity that is silly. So if anyone ever watches what we do and they spot a couple of actual proper dance steps in it,
I'll be shocked.
I would be shocked, because it's more luck than judgment. But we choose music. So last week we did, I can't remember what we did, something stupid. It was lovely. Yeah, it was a Scottish folk band busking on the streets of Edinburgh. It was brilliant music. These old guys in kilts, and they were just having bonkers time. So YouTube is great. It doesn't get blocked.
And guess what, David? We've been chatting for about half an hour now, and listen to this. You won't see it. It'll come up as Facebook user. But Helen Donnelly has said, I can offer support for help and events.
Donners, I love you dearly. You know that. You're as bonkers as I am. Please do.
And then I told you we'd get some good people involved. She's brilliant. Check out Quirky Bird Events for her business. And then look at this. This is someone that may be new to your network. This is Joy Park, who says, I'm happy to volunteer in my area. I'd love to be involved. Put me on the list. So there you go. That is 2 people already in half an hour.
Donna's will be ideal person to help me organise us organise the flash mob, because that's what we're planning.
Oh, she will. She
and
absolutely
we're
will.
gonna have a great one on that one. Joy and anybody, please contact. You can reach me through Facebook.
Well,
Either
you'll
me.
see when we come offline, David, you will
Mm.
be able to go into the group. You'll see all these comments and you will be able to respond to them, because you've got a really good set of people watching today. And people, and the joy of Facebook Lives and StreamYards are that more people are going to see this as the day goes on. So this has gone out onto my YouTube channel. It has gone out onto the main magazine.
Actually, Stacey, can you help me something, darling? Because Anna Richards, who's involved with what we're doing, has helped us get the website. I've put stuff on YouTube, but I don't know if I'm doing it right. So can I put a request out there? We need help on the following: someone who can help put up subtitles on our films, because that's important. So, because some people can't actually, because Casey does get muted. What are we trying to do? Because otherwise we're bloody stupid prancing around. Anyone that wants to take part in our exercises, the Move for Wellness program, which is global, 2.21 minutes of exercise. It doesn't matter whether you're super fit, unfit, old, young. We don't care. Just we want people moving and exercising. So if you see the films, film yourself taking part.
Brilliant. Have you got
any advice? Hashtag we not for the we have Frivolous Friday, we have hashtag Frivolous Friday, hashtag Move for Wellness 21. Twitter is Move Wellness 21. Instagram. Yeah. Anyone that wants to come along and
Move for Wellness, you will be able to search them.
Twitter is, it's just, as I say, Twitter is Move Wellness 21, because I forgot when I created the account, I forgot to put the word "for" in. But that is because I'm an old man. So, as Mel keeps saying, I mustn't keep saying that. Anyone that wants to help,
get in touch with David. Mention the Business Success Network, because he wants to know where to find you, and he wants to know that, you know, I do what I say I'm going to do.
Oh, by the way, Stacey, have you mentioned that it come November when we're doing the business show? Because, by the way, Move for Wellness has a stand at the business show at Excel. It's for 2 days. Now, through Mike Manley, as I said, he's very kindly given me this spin bike to use. The spin bike will be on the stand. Now, either you lot are going to be really sadistic and make me spin for 2 days, or you'll come along. I will send out the links for free tickets, and you can spend time spinning, get fit, raise some money.
David, I will do a lot of things. I am not getting on a bike. No. Honestly,
but hopefully,
more damage to you than me.
Hopefully, Stacey, you will come down.
I will absolutely,
and I'll be on our stand, and people get to meet this. I get to have something I haven't had yet from
I'll
Stacey.
come down.
I have a hug. I need a hug from Stacey.
I'll take a bucket. I'll donate some business magazines. I'll do whatever you want me to do, but you are not getting me on a bike.
No, I wouldn't get you on the bike, darling, but we want your
I wouldn't get on it, that's for sure.
We want your presence on the stand. We want people to come down to the show, because let's face it, that if some people for freedom is to be able to go and have what I want more than anything else is hugs. I need hugs, because that's in my life.
We're getting to that point now where we want a hug.
Yeah, so
right. Yes. I am going to call this a day, because it's 40 minutes long, and what I don't want to do is I don't want everybody to. Well, we're never going to bore everyone, are we? I might, you won't. But I want to say thank you for coming along. If those of you that are watching on the Facebook page or on the YouTube channel are not yet in the Facebook group, it is such a brilliant community of local businesses and stuff. He's got a wig. I'm gonna talk while he's doing whatever he's doing, because he is absolutely bonkers. Let's face it. Head over on Facebook to Business Success Network. Look for the groups. You'll find it there. You'll see the branding. Come along and join me and David, or Davette, as he may be known today. Who knows? Bless him. David, thank you. It's been a real privilege to get to know you over the last 12 months, and I can't wait to see what you do in the next 12 months. We can see one medal already from, was it last weekend?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. So he's on it. He's running these events.
Yeah, the next one is July. It's next month. I think it's the 17th of July at the Queen Elizabeth Stadium.
I'm being dared to get on the bike already. This is a bad idea. I knew something bad would come.
Sorry, Stacey. It wasn't a dare for you. I promise you, darling.
I tell you what, if the Business Success Network raises £1,000, I'll get on the bloody bike. There you go.
Just get on it. That's all you have to do. Sit on it, and we'll take a picture. You're on the bike. Done. You don't even have to wear lycra.
Not see the bike. I'm not wearing lycra. That gives people nightmares. Right. On that note, before I say anything else and before I agree to anything else, I am cutting the live feed. David. Right. It's like a few people's comments coming in. Look, and they're laughing at me. I always get into trouble for these things, David. Honestly,
I have been to Vienna at Race for Life, so David is nice.
Brilliant. Right, there we go. I'm being dared to get on the bike. I'm going to end up with a T-shirt called.
I think actually, Stacey, seriously, for you to get on the bike, it's not £1,000. They have to raise we have to raise £5,000 because Stacey's going to have to do something she's never done before. And I think if she's,
I used to have a bike,
years ago. No. If you're going to do something so brave as to actually get on the spin bike, and it does take guts to actually, if you haven't done it for years, then it's got to be worth at least £5,000. If someone wants to pay me, come up with ideas, right? This is serious. For me to do stupid things, except I can't stand heights, so don't buy heights, but anything else. But if you want me to do silly things, I will.
I reckon we could challenge David in this group, and we'll get
a price.
Right.
Everything has a price.
Let me come back to you and the network on that, because I'm pretty sure if you want to drop your ideas about what we can get David to do in this Facebook group, where's the tin? I'll put money in. Oh dear, here we go. Right, I will sort the links. I will find it, but speak to me, speak to David. We will make sure there is an online money tin with the Business Success Network, so it all gets collated together. And I promise I will do, £5,000 getting on a bike. Who knew? I'm surprised my husband doesn't come in laughing yet. Right, before I get told I'm going to do anything else, I am going. Have a wonderful week, guys, and I will speak to you all very soon. David, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Stacey, thank you so much, and it really is. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being Stacey Calder. Thank you, Jamie, for allowing you to be the woman that you are.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a choice, does he?
No, but you are brilliant, Stacey. So
thank you, David. Thank you for championing everybody.